Welcome to Watch What Crappens. To get our videos as soon as they're released instead of waiting for a week, head over to our Patreon. That's also where you'll find our bonus episodes and our Discord community. We love you guys.
Hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast about all that crap we just love to watch on Bravo. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me today is the one and only Ronnie Karam in a matching green shirt. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hi. We are having a very olive green shirt day.
Yeah, we are. Mine looks darker, but only because I don't have a lot of light on it. And look at you throwing a pillow back there.
Oh, only one pillow on a chair? What the heck? Okay, do the intro. I'm going to fix that.
Okay, you fix that. Ronnie's going to go take care of his pillows back there. We are here. It's Orange County Day. We love Orange County Day. So here's what you need to know about Watch What Crappens and the Watch What Crappens experience. So we have a Patreon, patreon.com/watchwhatcrappens, where you can actually do all sorts of fun things. Like you can listen to our bonus episodes. We do a bonus episode every single week. This week, we actually told stories of our youth and being young and in the business, and Ronnie's interactions with Robert Goulet and Sally Kellerman, and I talked about my interactions with Amy Sedaris and Diane Cannon, and there was some, I don't remember what my first story. Oh, what was my first story? Was it Diane Cannon? I don't know. But we told really
stuff, Uber stuff.
We just told old stories about being young and coming up in Hollywood or just in the business in general. So that was actually a really, really fun and lovely bonus episode. Also, Crappens on Demand, you can watch us, not just listen. These videos are here on Patreon for a week before they go out to our YouTube. So that's a surprisingly large pitch for Patreon. You'd think we'd never talk about it before. And don't forget that this Monday we have Crappy Hour. That's when we do a show on YouTube Live. It's also simulcast to Instagram, where we talk about Bravo headlines and things like that. We have a lot of fun with it. If you've never watched it, it's usually the two of us. Sometimes we have a guest. In fact, one of our more recent guests is a lady who has been quite the topic on Real Housewives of Orange County, Kiki Monique, which is my way of saying, let's talk about some Orange County. This episode, Ronnie, what did you think? What did you think about this episode? This episode to me was like, it was like Rashomon, but it was like Rahashosimon. It was like Rosimon. It was RHOCmon, because like the number of perspectives that start to come out, and by the end of it, you're like, what is the truth?
Well, we had already spoken before this a little bit because I started the day really upset. I mean, I came on to talk to Ben and we got on the phone and I was like, what the hell? I hate these kind of episodes where things just prove me wrong. I'm a Virgo. I like to have my judgments correct. And last week, a couple of things happened. Last week after the recap, because look, I remember saying in last week's recap, I don't understand Tamara's motivation. Why would she lie about this? But and I don't believe Katie, but at the same time, I don't believe Tamara either. But I hate not knowing what's going on. It makes me crazy. And then Tamara posted, because I wrote the description for last week in the episode notes, and I said something like Tamara's evil plan failed. And then Tamara commented on our post on Instagram saying, what do you mean my evil plan failed? What the hell is that supposed to mean? What do I have to gain from this information or whatever? And I didn't respond, but then because of course I was referring to you trying to turn everybody against Katie, and it blew up in your face is what I meant in the description. Then I went on to Judgy Girls to talk to Courtney, which you're going to go on this week as well, and we were talking about OC, and we talked about it at length a really long time. And I hate being wrong on multiple episodes and not being able to figure out what's going on. It pissed me off. And then I watched this one, and it made me mad, but here's why I'm mad. Because I actually have to kind of apologize. Like, Tamara, I mean, you were right. So ultimately, I have to even apologize to Tamara. So I'm going to do it. I'm just going to suck it up. I was wrong. You were right. I still don't believe the way that you handled it was proper. And I still believe you're mostly an asshole on this show. But when you're right, you're right. And this time, you know what? You were right. So there. Okay? There.
I don't know. I actually loved it. You were frustrated by it, but I loved it. I loved that by the end of the episode we discover that they're all lying, they're all covering up their own stories, they're all unreliable narrators. And I think that's actually a really fun and exciting space to be in. Normally you would say if they're all lying, this is actually shitty because then we don't know what's true. But I think that's what's actually so funny. Like, I think as we discover, like, oh, actually Gretchen may have said this, or she said something close to it, and then she's saying, no, I never said it, but then she does say it. And then Katie is like, well, I didn't say it, but now I did say it. But this is what I really said. And Jen's like, maybe I said it, maybe it didn't. And now Katie seems like she's going to turn on them. It's so, first of all,
they're
it's so
all
stupid.
lying.
They're all lying.
Yeah, they're all lying. But I didn't see it coming that Gretchen and Slade had told everybody and then called to tell them to lie about it. You know, I mean, that was
Unless
like an
Katie's
element I
lying
didn't
about
see.
that.
You know, because what was confusing me last week was why would Gretchen, okay, if they have this whole thing and Katie did go tell Kiki Monique this stuff, then why wouldn't Gretchen be furious at Katie for telling Gretchen Monique, you know, for telling Kiki Monique? That was what was confusing. Like, if she did do it, and it seems like she probably did, then why isn't Gretchen mad if Gretchen said that? But then we find out this week the answer is because Gretchen and Slade thought that they had stopped it by telling Katie not to say anything.
Well, all three of them are dumb because they've all made this actually much more of a scandal than it actually is. Tamara ignited something. She knew she would ignite it because Gretchen should, if this is what happened, Gretchen should just be like, well, yeah, I told her that I was concerned that I had been drugged and I went to the hospital and I got some tests done. And I think that like Gretchen is like flinching now because she's afraid she's going to get sued or something like that. But like, it's so old and it's all hearsay and it's all so silly that like, I don't know. And I don't think it's a big deal. And on top of that, the person who brought it up on camera was Tamara. It's not Gretchen. So like, I feel like the more that they are defensive and then they change their stories, the more they're making it sound like this is a big scandal that someone should be to blame for and that someone should be angry about. And honestly, it's not. I think that Gretchen had a right to. If Gretchen said that, she had a right to say, I thought that Tamara roofied me.
No, because they took it even further, and she said Tamara did she said she did test positive for drugs. She went to the hospital and they tested her and she had drugs in her system. And then she denies that
Katie
she said that. No, Gretchen said it.
No, Gretchen said that she went to the hospital. But she didn't. We saw her say that she went to the hospital, right? But it was Katie who said.
No, we see Gretchen lie because we see Gretchen say. Well, we'll get to it in the recap. It's in the notes, but we see where Gretchen says in the van, "I did have to go to the hospital," and then, oh no, you're right. We didn't see Gretchen say they found drugs in my system. Well, I don't know. We'll have to get to it.
By
in the
the way,
notes
how
it's
easy,
too confusing. It's too much. It's too much.
But by the way, how easy it was for you to like miss that detail is how these things get like blown way out of proportion because it's a human thing to do. Like you hear like 95% of the sentence and you fill in the last little gap there, and then that's how things blow out of, you know.
There's the added thing of you're trying to concentrate on what's happening because it's like watching the end of a mystery where everything you're finding out the truth and everyone's stories start being told, right? So you're finding out the truth and you're trying to listen to what Gretchen is saying, but she's wearing the dumbest outfit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm trying to concentrate on what she's saying, but I'm concentrating on what she's physically saying with that outfit, that pink thing that she was wearing with the buckles and the like Fox News hair. It was so crazy that it threw me off. And then I rewound it and I tried to listen again, but I couldn't stop staring at the dress. And I started thinking, who sells this? Where do you even buy this? Like, this is horrible. Like, what kind of Baby Jane ass store is selling this thing in the first place? And then I start going into conspiracy theories about that. And it's like somebody making her dress like this. And why is she dressing like this? What's wrong with her? And then I start going into a spiral of like, how could I ever believe somebody that dressed like this? Like, has Gretchen been off the show long enough that I forget that she's also a fucking liar? You know, and also the biggest.
But Tamara's a liar too, because Tamara spent all last episode saying that she doesn't drink anymore and she's sober, and you will never see me like this. And now, oh, by the way, I did have a Xanax and I had some drinks. It's like,
but to be fair, you're allowed to lie if you're an alcoholic. That's kind of part of.
But they're all.
We have to forgive.
We have to forgive. they all shift their reality and their truths, and they lie all the time. And I actually think it's hilarious.
It was very funny.
It's hilarious the way they do it, and are always clutching their pearls. Like, me? Well, I never said that. It's like, it was on camera. You guys are such idiots. Oh, I thought it was great. I thought it was like a commentary on like postmodern storytelling or whatever. It just was so good.
Well, it was very funny, and two judgy girls call it, Courtney said that they call it loser on loser crime. Like, you can't let yourself get upset because it's loser on loser crime. I think that's such a great term, and it's so fitting for this show because I was really worked up, and I'm pissed because the first episode of that came out already, and the next one doesn't come out, I think, until tomorrow, so it sucks. Or whenever, maybe today, because we're recording this a little bit early. So whenever this thing comes out, I'm already wrong. Everyone knows I'm wrong as they're listening, if that makes any sense. So it just sucks, you know, it just sucks for me, but it's also great for me as an audience member because what an episode. So let's get going. We just had Tamara run out of the restaurant screaming, "You'll never see my face again, bitches. Is somebody going to get me an Uber? Or why do I have to get my own Uber?"
It's not normal. I am worried right now. Look how worried I am.
Did you see on Instagram? She put that it's been a long run. Peace out. I'm Owl. She had a story about Gretchen, and when Gretchen didn't believe us, she got mad.
Gretchen's like, I'm going to believe my friend who hasn't hurt me.
Okay, that's who I'm gonna believe.
Well, it was so clear that with like Kiki Monique, like you weren't the one who said it, but like at the table, she went back on that and she was like, what if Gretchen did tell Katie this? Like she drinks and she's like nasty. Like who can I, like, she's like, who can I poke, right?
And Heather's like, something turned it. I know. I saw it. I saw it all happen. And of course, by something turned it, I mean turned Wendy Malick's face from normal to old and wretched. Is that what we're talking about? No.
I mean, I know she's going to therapy and like she's working on shit, but like you can't be a dick. You can't be a dick.
And Emily's like, "Yeah, you can. You can be a dick, but you gotta apologize for being a dick. That's how I do it."
You don't apologize, and you can't be a dick. By the way, you're not like allowed to be a dick. When people are like, if you were allowed to be a dick, you wouldn't have to apologize for it. So
I know. Well, also, I love that Gina and Emily are looking like the non-dicks in this episode. You're both dicks too, Gina. I know you had one good episode, and I'll give you credit for that. But you, ma'am, are also a dick. So let's not forget about that. You know, and that's another thing. You can never forget on these shows, you're all dicks, okay? And I can never let myself forget again.
You two were the ones snickering in the corner at Heather's birthday party about Gretchen's face. So don't forget. So now it's the morning in New Orleans. People are waking up. Jen wakes up with the voodoo doll in her bed. And she's like, well, I swear I didn't stick a pin in the voodoo Jennifer to get Tamara out of here, but it's more peaceful here. Like going home was the smartest thing she's ever done. So
thank you, Tamara. I just want to thank you. I just want to thank you for going home. And to my little doll Jennifer in bed with me, how did you get a Cut Fitness shirt? How did you get a Cut Fitness shirt? And little pieces of Tamara's weave. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank you. You look great.
That little doll is like, oh my God, I woke up next to my former fatty photo. So then...
It's a fatty photo.
Fatty photo.
So she calls Ryan and she's like, oh my God, Ryan, have you been on social? We went to dinner and she was biting on everyone and oh my God. And then Gina said, you're not going to sit at my table and come and slosh. And then she left. And then Gina tried to take the table home because she has kids. It was very, very dramatic.
And so then Gretchen calls Slade, who now has a mustache, and she's like,
okay,
oh my God,
listen, I know as someone who's also got an awkward mustache at the moment because of a middle-age crisis. Listen, I don't know that I'm pulling it off or not. I'm not going to be my own judge and jury. Some people pull it off, some people don't. Slade, you look like Ned Flanders.
Ned Flanders.
You've got it. You are totally Flandersing it up. You can't do this to yourself, Slade. The one thing you have going for you is that you're handsome. Get rid of the Flanders stash. No offense, Ned Flanders, because you're hot in your own way.
He can do a mustache, but not that mustache. That was a Flanders mustache because he already has Ned Flanders hair, and he honestly has Ned Flanders bone structure. So, like,
Haddly doodly, neighbor.
The worst Ned Flanders of all time. It's Slade Smiley. Well, I mean, Ned Flanders, Slade Smiley, it sort of matches.
Name-wise,
So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So Gretchen's like, what in the serious hell monkey with this stash, Slade? I'm freaking exhausted. Dude, Tamara drops this bombshell that Katie tried to sell a story, and I feel like she was like trying to start a fight with me and Katie, and like then she says I'm done, I'm like leaving, I'm quitting the show. Like I don't even know if she's here.
Gretchen, I like when Gretchen tries to be smart and put stuff together. She's like, I felt like she was like trying to maybe start a fight with me and Katie. You think, Gretchen? Like ding, ding, ding. You're on it. I was really on it.
Slade's like, yeah, her lies and manipulations are catching up with her. So I'm really loving this, keeping Slade like limited to like a single FaceTime per episode. Like they're doing a really strong job of just keeping the focus on Gretchen and not Slade, because Slade was always the one who dragged her down. And now that we have just really a focus on Gretchen, I'm actually a little surprised that she's not a full-fledged housewife, because she's really very central to this season. But I'm also glad, because if she were, then we'd have a lot more Slade, and it would be.
I thought she was a full-time housewife. She's a friend of?
Yeah, she doesn't have an opening card or anything. She's a friend of.
Oh, I thought she was a full-timer. The Slade thing is funny to me because they're very tricky with keeping Slade off camera a lot, not letting him get in the mix, but then finding out in this episode how in the mix he really is. And that makes so much sense, you know, that he's really back there pulling all the strings, because it's very Slade what happens. So then we go to Katie talking to Matt, and she's telling us, I didn't tell Kiki Monique, period. I didn't do it. Katie, you're such a fucking liar. Can't even with Katie. Katie, in the same episode that she's found out, lies another 15 times.
She also, I mean, this is Katie's thing. She's like, I never said that. I never did that. Okay, I did that, and I'm really sorry. I really am sorry. But I won't do it again.
I really didn't do that. I really didn't do this other thing. Okay,
all right,
you know what? I did do that.
But I only did it to one person. Only one person. I only told Matt, and I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry about that.
And then we get a pretty good look into this marriage, because she goes, we're going to see gators today, Matt, and one of these bitches is going to push me in. I just know it. And he's like, you push them first. I was like, okay, well, now we see how you two are playing.
Yeah. So now in Shannon's room, Emily comes over, and Shannon's like in disarray as usual. Emily's like, you look stunning, princess.
Oh, well, did Tamara leave? Let's have a flashback to that moment.
And then we go to last night in the car, where Shannon's reading a text from Tamara that says,
I'm leaving at 4 a.m. Come out with cameras. No, you know what? No, I am not. You guys, I am not the ride or die. I am no longer Tamara Judge's ride or die. No, hold on one second. We do have to pull over at this store and get her a roast turkey, because she didn't get to eat. Okay, so I will bring that for her.
I'm not going to do just what she wants at the snap of her fingers at 4 a.m. I'm just not. But I was on the bar. I was standing on the bar, texting Earl the Pearl about hurricanes. I mean, better late than never.
Unfortunately, it was the cocktail, and I showed him a picture, and he said, but what about the real hurricane? I said, this is a real hurricane. What, my drink doesn't count anymore? Really, Earl?
Oh, it just reminds me of Bali when she said, you'll never see me again. And we saw her right after. Who lips?
And then we see the flashback, which is so funny. You'll never see me again. And it's like all echoey, and she runs out of the resort.
Yeah. So Emily's like, it's time to go. We got to go see gators. Are you manifesting? Can you manifest a hairbrush? Oh.
Yeah, because Shannon sees the time as 11:11.
11:11, manifest. I'm going to manifest,
maybe just a Snickers bar. I'm just a little bit hungry right now. So now everyone's getting in the car to go Gator times, and Shannon's not ready yet. She's like looking for lashes, and Emily is like, "Did you guys see Tamara's post from the airport talking about mental health?"
You know what? If you're a person who is working on mental health, you don't do it on Instagram.
You also don't join the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Yeah, and I think you do it on Instagram. I see everybody doing it on Instagram.
Guys, I'm hurting today. Let's talk about it.
That post was so Tamara. It's just like a picture of her giving a side face in the airport. It's like,
hashtag mental health is important. Everybody's bullying me. Stop the bullying. Hashtag Trevor Project. It gets better, bitch. Gets better.
Mental health is health.
Oh, yeah, well, only old fits have ladies on Instagram. She's having an old lady fit by doing it on Instagram. That's what old ladies do.
I think they really have the fits on Real Housewives. So then another car, Gretchen is like,
She expects us to be all accountable.
and Katie's like, yeah, but like then she starts, and if you do it back to her, she runs, which is true, which is that Tamara pokes and pokes and pokes, and the moment there's any sort of pushback, she has a meltdown and leaves.
Well, I can't believe how selfish it is for her to leave. I mean, I've been taking up for her. I've been standing up for her. When people say things, I say things back to them. How could she do this to me?
You know, as a big sister to her in the Rich Sister, Poor Sister program, I feel betrayed that my mentorship is being flung back in my face. As I was telling my friends, the Trolados, who have the winery, this poor person, I've put so much effort into her. I've bought her things like forks and knives and spoons and Entenmann's donuts, and this is how she repays me.
She's talking about Gina. Gina's like, wait a minute. Why are we talking about my
we're talking
2 year ago
about Tamara. My
storyline?
My apologies.
But meanwhile, Katie is lying about this whole thing because I called the journalist.
And Gina tells us, yeah, she called this reputable journalist. She just looked up reputable journalist and found somebody, and they verified what Tamara is saying.
There's no journalist in Gina's Rolodex who I'm going to say is a reputable journalist. I'm just going to say that right now, okay? You were not reaching out to Diane Sawyer. You're not reaching out to like the ghost of Mike Wallace. You're not doing any of these. You're just reaching out to another one of us.
I just want to know who this reputable journalist is. I have to know who it is. It's like the owner of like Silent Woman or something.
I know. It's just like I don't know, like someone who has like a freelancer for like the Orange County Register or something like that. I don't know, which actually would be reputable, but still, I just don't believe that Gina has access to reputable journalists.
Sorry, it's a hard pill to
all the other
swallow.
gossip bloggers and podcasters.
Yeah. So Shannon calls and she's like,
Oh my God, did you leave me? Why would you leave me? I was getting ready to go. I couldn't find my eyelash, and now I'm supposed to figure out how to come to you. I don't know what am I supposed to do? Get on the bus. There's no bus here. I'm having a nervous breakdown over here.
All
There's no one to
right,
help me.
all right. We'll see you there.
It's this unexplained Shannon sobbing on the phone scene where they just like, okay, whatever, bye. And like, we don't know why Shannon's sobbing. We don't know what's going on with her. We just know she's crying on the phone. And they're like, okay, standard. It's like 11 a.m. Time for her breakdown.
you're just used to Shannon having a breakdown. I think she's crying because Emily just went up to get her and said, okay, meet us downstairs, and then just left Shannon because she took forever. Shannon's still expecting everyone to wait around, and they've decided, no, we're not doing that anymore. Well, I told her to be ready at noon.
Well, we're messing with crocodiles. I can only do one crisis at a time. All right? Like, you guys, like, Tamara, we finally got rid of Tamara, and now we're going to have to stare at her Animal Kingdom version all day.
So they arrive at Airport Adventures.
Airboat.
Which is like, Airboat. Airport Adventures.
Get it right, Ben. Okay, we're trying to work in a tie-in with Airboat Adventures. Please.
Airboat Adventures. We are dressed like crocodiles. Actually, we're dressed like alligators today.
We are.
We're hoping to get a free tour with Airboat Adventures next time we go to New Orleans. Just putting it out there. So this guy Jordan he's the main guy, and they're all piling into their boat. He's one of those flat boats with a big giant like fan on the back. And then Shannon's like in the car, and she's like,
Okay, driver, could you pull over? I need to do my lashes. Just please pull over. Oh God, where's the glue? I can't find the glue. David, where's the glue? Is it? Oh my God, my eyelash glue is in my butt. I totally remember now. I sat on my eyelash glue. Oh God, is there anyone who can pull it out?
It is funny that they actually pull over to the side of the road for her to do her eyelashes.
Oh, God, I can't find the glue now. Why can't I find the glue? Somebody call the girls. I think I'm about the eyelash glue. We're supposed to get the eyelash glue.
So back at the Gator place, there's like a statue of a gator, and Emily's asking the important questions like, is this an actual size of an alligator? That's crazy. Do they eat burritos? Because I have one in my purse. Alligator, I'm the funny one on the show.
Is this the original alligator leg, or does this alligator have a new whip? There's a callback.
You guys, in Bali, I realized I was living in fear, and now I don't want to do that. I'm like, I can't think of anything scarier than murky water with alligators, so today I'm going to see if I can break through my fear.
Does she know how boats and alligators work? Does she know the alligator is not going to crawl into the boat and is not going to eat up the boat? Like, is she aware about how this process is going to go? Because she is really milking this fear moment a little bit too much, if you ask me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the scariest thing about going to see alligators is like looking into an animal that you could turn into with like a week without moisturizer, if you really think about it.
I mean, like Lubriderm, those Lubriderm commercials always had that alligator slinking around.
Yeah.
It was so funny because watching this whole sequence with the alligators, it was like the first time I was like, oh, look, that alligator's kind of cute. And I realized, oh, that's because I'm watching the Real Housewives of Orange County, and the alternate is just a look over at like Heather Dubrow. I'm like, honestly, Heather Dubrow and the rest of these ladies make the alligators look cute. Just because they're just so scary. Not that they're ugly. They're beautiful. They're scary, though. And that make the like, oh, look at that cute, cuddly alligator. Just wants to swim around all day and enjoy itself.
Yeah. So we get on the boat, and Shanna's still not there. And Emily's like, my pet peeve is people being late. We're leaving. Let's leave Shannon. Let's leave her. And Shannon arrives in some very high heels for some reason for an alligator boat. And we just get a tss. And it's like,
Hi, sorry, girls. Sorry, alligators. Sorry, person on a boat. Are you single? Listen, I've always wanted a man with a giant fan in the back of his car. So this actually could work. Are my eyelashes correct? Oh, hold on. My butt wants to wink at you. It's still there. I couldn't get it off. It was super glue. The driver gave me lash super glue. So these aren't coming off for a while.
Wait a second. Is that John Jansen's son over there? Oh, hi. Oh, you know what? It was just a rock sticking out of the swamp. Sorry.
Hi, alligator. Hey, I'm a boat person too. Yeah, I have a boat.
Alligator, I love your shirts. In fact, I gave John Jansen several of your shirts. Is this the Lacoste factory? No? Oh, okay. My bad.
And Gina's really mad. So Shanna's like, oh, wait, we can't leave. What if I need my coat? What if it suddenly gets freezing cold in the middle of Alligator Village? Please, somebody get my coat. Okay, thank you.
So everybody's
What if
mad.
it gets-
And then
What if it gets freezing cold in the middle of a sunny bayou in the American South?
what if it starts snowing in this alligator swamp?
Oh, does anybody have sunscreen?
Oh, should we sing some Christmas carols? It feels like a winter wonderland here in the bayou.
I can see Sarah Palin's backyard, which is crazy. Gina, are you mad? Are you mad, Gina? Gina's like, this is something that genuinely creates anxiety for me. I have anxiety. That's my storyline. I couldn't get money, so anxiety, and I'm really stressed out.
Gina, on the heels of announcing that she was no longer going to live with fear, is now turning this scene into somehow an expression of her anxiety.
Oh my God, this is so hard for me to be on a flat bottom tourist boat around animals that can't reach me. Okay, this is hard.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's because of the water. Well, it's not you. It's me. Oh, yeah. It must be you're afraid of water. I get it. And well, I do still feel bad. Like I was late. No, you should feel bad because you were late. And you're always late. And I could get eaten by a crocodile today, and people having fights and being late. And it's just like too many things. I hate when people fight, which is why I called the reporter. That's why I called the reporter. I just hate conflict.
First of all, it's an alligator, not a crocodile, Gina. And second of all, we should be so lucky if you got eaten by one today during this show. So Shannon's
the first
like,
person to ever get spit back out.
I know, that's the thing.
You're going to need some more scalp treatments, honey. It's like a bitchy
The
alligator.
alligator's
It's like,
like-
I'm not eating that.
Alligator's like, I feel bad. So Shannon's like, oh, well, I'm sorry. I had an anxiety attack. So if you want to play the anxiety game, well, let's double or nothing, bitch, because I had an actual anxiety attack that was based off of real things. I'm going to link mine to a DUI. So enjoy your alligator anxiety. Mine is related to DUI and by extension, John Jansen.
I couldn't even breathe. Am I breathing right now? Has somebody hold glass under my nose? Am I breathing? Have I died?
And then she tells us,
Oh, ever since my DUI, I've been having anxiety attacks. I haven't had time to process it.
how much time do you fucking need? How many martinis do you need to process your DUI? You got a DUI. You could have killed somebody. You had a house. You had a fucking DUI with your dog in the car. Why do we have to feel sorry for you for having a DUI? That is the craziest shit I've ever heard. She talks like she's just come back from Nam for a year. She's like, well, after everything I've gone through, you did it to yourself.
I haven't had time to process it, even though I spent all last year processing it on TV.
So they're like, okay, fine. So they start speeding through the bayou, looking at gators, and of course Heather's like, I don't like it. I do not like this at all. I don't like this. Too fast. I don't want to be on water in the first place, and now we're gliding by a shipwreck. I was like, that is so mean to say that about Gina. That's really not. Just like try to get along with her.
But I like that they show an actual boat that's just capsized for no reason. We never find out what it is. It's not like a pirate set piece. I thought they were going to cut to like a set piece of a pirate ship, but no, it's just someone's boat that's tipped over in the water. It's like, this doesn't bode well. This does not bode. Do you understand? So they see something flip in the water, and then we see an alligator. And Gina's like,
Oh my God, I don't like that at all. I'm trying to be brave, but like I'm feeling anxiety right now. Oh my God, even that alligator is mad that Shannon's asleep.
It's like a small, cute alligator basking in the sun on the side. It's like, and they're all like, oh my God, it's like a baby. It's a tiny, cute alligator. And she's like,
Oh my God, no, my God, this is like really hard from like my post-ballet anxiety. Like, I can't do this anymore. I called a very reputable journalist, and he said the alligators were coming to kill us all.
so when a little baby starts coming at them, and they're like, oh my God. And then Gina's like,
Oh my God, where's the mom and the dad? Hey, how many of you share a room?
and Kitty goes, it looks vacant and small. I'm like, that's sort of what I say about Gretchen, right? She's like, I want to see a real one. So then there's one in the water, and then Gina's like,
Oh my God, where's the mom and the dad? Is the mom like really crazy and like screwing everyone up with like divorce papers and stuff?
and the guy's like, well, actually, with alligators, every male is a deadbeat dad.
Oh, well, a little John Jansen in the bayou today, huh?
now Tamara can just refer to Slade as an alligator. She doesn't have to say deadbeat anymore.
Funny one, queen of sarcasm.
Well, the mother will protect the nest, that's how moms are. And Heather's like, that resonates. That resonates. I will protect my nest as well. Hey, alligator, you should write an autobiography. We'll have a party for it at Nobu. It's going to be amazing.
Is that alligator's nest within view of Drake alligator's nests? Just wondering.
So Gina's like,
Wow, like the more you just like sit here with alligators, like the more comfortable you are with them.
Like, yeah, you all seem fine with Tamara. I mean, my God,
I know,
that's like the most horrifying creature on this channel, and everyone's just fine with Tamara now. Even when Tamara comes in screaming and yelling, you just get used to it.
Yeah, but also you're not like swimming in the murky waters with these alligators. You're on a flat boat and perfectly safe. So you don't get any sort of like medal of honor for just like going on a very standard tourist experience.
Yeah. So back at the hotel, Emily calls Shane while she's in bed with Gina. And Shane's like, what? She's like, oh, you don't look very excited to see me. I'm busy. I'm busy over here, okay? It's like, yeah, thanks for calling. What, are you busier than me? I've got kids. I've got family. I've got workers here. It's like, oh, he really misses me. Oh.
Yeah. And then she talks about she's asking questions about Luke. She's talking about like his ARFID and like, you know, the link to autism. And she feels really guilty being on this trip. And Shane's like, well, I have dogs and workers and kids. There's a lot going on here. And lots of humor, too. God, America, isn't he just so funny?
Yeah. She's like, love you. Say it back, Shane. And he just hangs up on her. So now let's go to Bourbon House Seafood. Emily's wearing these heels that looks like she's been captured by pirates and is about to be thrown overboard. I've never seen heels with like manacles. Like it looked like she was chained to something. They were huge, thick manacles on the ankles. But
I did not see them.
you do you. You know, Orange County fashion is like Gina being around alligators, where you just get used to it and you stop noticing it as much.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's totally normal.
I mean, Emily's definitely going for some looks this season. There's that one confessional look where I was like, oh, well, this is a choice, Emily. You know
What is it? The
You
one
do
with her
you.
hair in the top ponytail or something? She needs to not do that. What is that look? Look,
like
I
a
think
spaghetti
Emily's a
strap.
beautiful. She's a beautiful woman. I really do think that. But her she looks like a shrunken head or something with that in that look.
I don't know what it is. It's
weird.
It's not a hit. It's not a hit. So they go and Heather is like, ooh, fried oysters. That's what New Orleans is known for, right? I love it. They call these, what I love about this is people say I live in my own world around rich people, but would someone like that ever come to New Orleans and order a poor boy sandwich? I don't think so. I'll have one of the poor boys, please. Now, do these sandwiches, can they be hired as servants? Can the poor boys drive cars? Ma'am.
We call these Alfredo sandwiches at home. We just stuff Alfredo full of shrimp and call it a staff meal. Okay.
And Emily's like, wow, really lovely, isn't it? Everybody, like Heather said, oh, it's so lovely. I'm so fancy. I ordered fried oysters. I'm going to put a fried oyster in my purse.
She's like, stop making fun of me. Sometimes I feel like you say things to me that if I said to you, it wouldn't be okay, Emily.
She's like, I can take a joke.
Can we please order Emily some size 12 jeans?
How dare you? How dare you?
No, I can take a joke. I can take a joke. Okay, good, because your hair looks like Snuffleupagus today. Snuffleupagus! How dare you? How dare you?
And Gina's like choking on something and making a big scene. And Heather's like,
Are you choking? Your Peristalsis isn't working? What's happening? What is Peristalsis, by the way? Peristalsis.
I don't know what Peristalsis is, but in 1997, I did film a television pilot called Emergency Doc, and it was Emergency, Doc, and it was me with Patrick Dempsey smiling at each other, and I did have a very funny line where I said, your Peristalsis isn't working, because otherwise, you'd be making out with me. Unfortunately, CBS did not pick it up to order.
Actually, let me confirm. Peristalsis is a series of wave-like muscle contractions that move food through the digestive tract and other tubular organs like the esophagus and the ureters. It's an involuntary process that's crucial for digestion. See Sutton Strack on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which I'm still not on, and I'm very upset about.
What's so funny is that Heather's having this sort of stern moment with Emily, and I bet in her mind she's thinking, this is great. This will be the centerpiece of the episode. But it's just like treated as this like random backdrop to like Gina like hacking up along, like she's like choking on an oyster. And you just hear like Gina's like being a fool, but then you just hear Heather scolding Emily, and she's like da 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 da. Like it's just like how Shannon was just sobbing on the phone, and no one's like, oh, that's just what Shannon does. It's like Heather scolding Emily.
How dare you? It's very offensive when you are mean to me. I could do mean things to you. For example, you ask so many questions. For example, I have a question. That's you, Emily. That's my imitation of you. How about dem apples? How does that make you feel?
Emily's like, okay, Heather, I'm sorry.
Thank you. That is all I needed. Thank you. Oh, God, all in a day's work. That's a top-rated episode right there.
which reminds me of the time I was in a pilot with Drew Carey called All in a Day's Work. Unfortunately, I was recast by Nancy Travis.
It was
So,
literally all in one day's work. So that's not one of my proudest moments. Where's she? Where's Emily Travis? Where's Nancy Travis now? Nowhere. Okay. Well, hey, can I have some milk just to see if Nancy Travis's picture is on the back? Great. Thank you.
Hey, congratulations, Nancy Travis. No one knew for a long time if your name was Travis Nancy or Nancy Travis. Firsty. So Gina's like,
What if I died listening to Emily fight with Heather Dubrow? What if I died? Like, I can't.
Okay, so they go to the table. And they start talking about Tamara. Like, where is she? Has anybody talked to her? And Gina's like, no, but she left. When she left, she brought up a rumor that was really horrible. And like, I was swinging your way, Katie, but like, I don't know what to do now. But in my heart, like, I gotta know. So I called the journalist. And you just see Katie's face, like, oh God, I'm already caught. Can I just have one oyster? Please.
Yeah, last night I said, what is happening? And he said that Kiki and Katie went to lunch, and 7 minutes into lunch, Katie said, like, on Naked Wasted, that, like, Gretchen suspected that, like, she had been, like, roofied, and, like, she went to the hospital.
and Kitty goes, that didn't happen though. It was happy hour, not lunch. This whole story just needs to be dismissed.
It's a very credible journalist, Katie. Okay, like very, very, very credible. Like this journalist served in Iraq. Okay.
Yeah, very, very good. It was Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein level. I mean, we really got there.
I love that Gina would know that. Gretchen's like,
But that credible journalist, if they're credible, quoted it, unquoted it, then why did they call me? Like, nobody called me about it.
and Gina's like,
Well, no, they didn't call you because they're not going to print it because they know it's a lie. They know it's a lie, so they're not going to print it. And she goes, if it's a lie, then why are we talking about it? She's like, well, if you don't care, then, like, if that she sat at lunch and said that about you, then, like, what do I care?
and Gretchen's like,
I need proof. I need proof, and this is the truth.
And Heather's like, well, you have Kiki's number. Why don't you use it? And Shannon goes, well,
Well, text her and walk to another room. Walk to another room and call her.
and if you have to cry to her, you can do that too. I've done that many times. So Jen is like, yeah, you need to go give her a heads up. Call
well, I
Kiki,
don't know
call
if I can
Kiki."
actually call her. I mean, I do have her phone number, but you know, it's just time differences. There's that. You know, like, I don't know. How will she know it's me?
I'm afraid, I'm Verizon. She's AT&T. I'm not sure you can really.
It's very
cross
difficult. I'm
networks
out of
like
minutes.
that, so.
I'm out of minutes. Is there a Wi-Fi in here? If only there was Wi-Fi in here, I could call her.
I'm just not getting any reception.
Yeah,
right now.
it's
It's
rough.
not funny. My phone just doesn't work
Gosh.
ever.
Yeah, my phone
too
doesn't
bad.
work. Whoops. My phone died. Sorry, everybody. Well, here's a battery. My phone fell in water. There it is. It's waterproof. Okay. My phone has been stepped on by me. I can't.
Oh, unfortunately, my phone was trampled by a Mardi Gras parade passing by in the street, so just cannot be used.
If I were Katie, I would be calling her and I would be saying, Kiki, Monique, why did you say this? I just don't know why my friend wouldn't clear this up with my other friends. This is very important. What is going on with my friend?
And honestly, at this point, like they should be saying, let's remember the whole reason why this came up. This entire thing came up because Tamara was trying to turn Katie and Gretchen against each other. It was to serve a maniacal, evil plan to just ruin friendships. That's what this was for. And it was to get revenge on Katie for perceived slights that camera feels. And so, like, whether Katie did say it or didn't say it, the fact that they are giving it so much credence and getting so mad about it is actually just supporting Tamara. And I think that's why Gretchen just doesn't want to even touch it. She's like, I'm not going to fall into Tamara's plan of having you guys turn against me. Even if she did say this, I'm just not going to let on that I said it or care or whatever. And then Gina's like, Katie's like, Gina says,
Do you need blood? Like, think to yourself. Do you ever tell a story? Do you ever tell a story?
and Katie's like, well, you told us that, you told us that story at Mastros. She said that to Gretchen because Gretchen apparently sat them all down. And Katie tells us that Jen, Ryan, Gretchen, Slade, Matt, and her all went to Mastros, and Gretchen told the whole-
Mastros. God, so much shit goes down at Mastros on these shows.
Yeah.
So much shit goes
And
down at
Javier's,
Mastros.
Mastros, anything that's in that like Costa Mesa mall, it's gonna happen. Or it's the
Yeah.
Irvine Spectrum.
And Jen's like, yeah, she said she was really sick from drinking. That's what I remember her saying. I mean, was that conveyed to be more? Was it more than that? And Jen's like, listen, she never said she was roofied. I was sitting right there, and we all know that I remember things. We all know that. And
Yeah.
Katie's like, okay, audience, I'm going to use Heather's line. Let me be clear. Okay. Gretchen said she felt sick. She went to the hospital. They did a toxicology report, and they found drugs in her system. There. That's it. I said it. Okay, but you're kind of outing yourself because that's basically saying she got roofied. So then who did tell Kiki Monique that told this other guy? It was you. So why are you still lying about it?
But it's not quite the same as saying you got roofied because it still offers some wiggle room. Like there was drugs she had. Maybe it was medication. Maybe it was something else. Like she drank, and maybe there was a reaction to who knows. But
If you tell a group of people that night at Naked Wasted, I went to this thing, they plied me with drinks. I got so sick I had to go to the hospital. I had them run a toxicology report, and they did in fact find drugs in my system. That's accusing somebody of roofing. I mean, to me, that's a pretty
It's very
clear
close.
cut case.
It's very close, but I think that in the court of housewives, you still have wiggle room out of that. And in fact, they all are using this. They're all like roofie was probably not ever said. And so that's where it's like, well, she never said roofied. And that's why Katie's like, I never said roofied. What it is was that there was drugs in the system. And the implication is roofie. But if you drill down, it actually could not mean that at all. But letting it hang there, which is a classic housewives move, is an implication that they all then go and run with.
So Gina's like,
Well, everyone keeps coming into my ears about Katie, and about Katie, and I feel like you don't want me to like her.
oh no, Gretchen says that, sorry. And Gina's like,
Yeah, but I was open. Like you came to me about Tamara, and I was open, and I listened to you. But then when I came to you about, this, you're not open, and it makes me think that maybe you did say something to Katie, Gretchen.
and then Gretchen's like, oh.
You guys defend your friend Tamara, and I can't defend my friend.
And I'm just like, well, we hold Tamara accountable. You won't hold Katie accountable. Hold her accountable.
You literally never hold Tamara accountable. You
Never.
just follow her around. We've watched for season after season as Tamara has like gone after people like Shannon, etc. And like you don't hold her accountable in the same way. You may give her like a slap on the wrist here or there, but you don't hold her accountable. So Gretchen is like,
Katie hasn't done anything to me. Tamara has done something to everyone at this table.
and it like hits them all like boom, 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 boom. And they still don't think to themselves, wow, yeah, Tamara's garbage. We shouldn't be friends with her anymore. They think, okay. Well, anyway, moving on.
Gretchen's like,
No, I can't eat. When I'm with these people, I can never eat. I just want to believe my friend and not the person who's proven to be a liar and a manipulator and conniving person. Like, who are you going to believe, America?
and so Heather's like, wow, you know what? We've been scared and we've been honest about this with you, Katie. We're just very, very terrified of you because what's next? What is gonna happen next?
I can promise you the truth will come out. Okay, guys, well, thanks for coming to New Orleans. We're all going to be traveling back a little bit later.
No, we've eaten so many beignets. Ha 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 ha. And scene. Great episode, guys.
It's gonna go down as one of the Heather Dubrow, Emily, whatever her name is, fights of the century.
I'm so glad we were able to find peace and resolve after that vicious trailer centering fight that Emily and I had about how she makes fun of me and how she can't take a laugh.
So now we go back to Orange County and we get the like, oh, everybody is getting reacquainted with their loved ones. Jen is telling Ryan she rode a cock, and he's like,
Which explains that.
huh?
It explains last week when we're like cock, but it's a bull. But it's a bull. Why are they calling it a cock? Because it was a mechanical bull that they put like chicken feathers on, so that way they could call it a cock. Sorry, just wanted to clarify. Just wanted to circle back to a loose end from last week. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, We're very
important.
reputable journalists ourselves.
Lots of
and that
apologies
helps.
today. Yeah, we're the reputable journalists.
We're like we're
in the
on
Bravosphere.
ombudsman.
And Ryan's like, wow, you wrote a cock? Maybe tonight you could try writing it. Shut up. So then Shannon calls Sophie, and it's like, well, I just got back from New Orleans. So, Sophie, you can't hear me? You can't hear Sophie? Are you there? Sophie, go outside and listen. It's your mother. Sophie, go outside. Oh, God, Sophie, just have another cocktail, okay? And then Sophie just lifts a beer up to the camera. It's like, yeah, Mom. That is so fun. Are you driving a car right now? You are hilarious.
Oh, I remembered that when you do this, I have to laugh to show that this is funny to me, and I'm not reflecting on how lonely I am in my house right now and how I can't drink when the cameras are here. Otherwise, I face the judgment of the American people. So I'll just laugh because I'm so happy. I am happy. I'm happy. Happy person.
So Gina gives her kids Gator gear and like, oh my God, that's gross, Mom. She's like, oh, look at that. You can use it as a nose picker. And then we get very dramatic music, but they're still playing the old B-roll footage of like hot people doing things. It's like, someone has died. And it's like a hot shirtless guy playing basketball. You guys
even better.
might need some more depressing B-roll footage if we're going to play this music.
The best part was, like they showed these hot guys shirtless playing basketball, and this hot guy goes and he like does like a layup and just totally misses the basket. I was like, oh,
well, maybe it was more of a fitting intro to a Tamara scene.
Just missing the layup. Like you can be hot, but you just got immortalized as someone who can't get the ball in the basket. So Tamara's here. Dr. Michaela. And the doctor's like, so, what's been going on with you? How you feeling?
Well, I've been like really anxious and stuff because I was fighting with Eddie and he had to like literally hold me down and calm me down, doctor.
Yeah, I went to Big Bear and I had to isolate myself. It was so hard. I was so alone. I was so bullied. How in Big Bear they have big wooden bears at every place. Every time they were going, wow, so stop bullying me. You're being so mean to me. Why is everybody, why are the bears and Big Bears so mean to me? But then I had to come to therapy because I have to shoot a scene where I don't get paid for this episode. So here I am.
It was so important for me to go to Big Bear and to be isolated and alone. And that's what I was. Alone in Big Bear. Here's some footage that some person took of me being alone. Just so you know that I was alone with another person who could film me.
Look at me. I'm sitting on a log all alone where somebody's hiding behind a tree taking a picture. Ooh.
I love that. It's just Tamara. I'm so alone sitting on a log. Someone took the picture, Tamara.
I know.
So she's like, well, I confronted this girl about taking roofies, about talking about roofies, and I wanted her to give me a chance to believe her.
That's what I wanted her to give me a chance to believe her.
Sorry, I wanted to give her a chance to make me believe her. It's something like that. It's like,
I was just
I'm
trying to
inviting
give her a
you.
chance.
I'm inviting you to say something truthful so I can finally believe you. I'm giving you the floor to change your narrative so it fits mine. Would you like to take that chance?
And then I just remember Gretchen yelling at me and Gina yelling at me and Jennifer making a voodoo doll that was trying to copy my entire life.
I called the car. I said, take me to the airport. And then when we were driving, I looked. The driver was a beignet. Oh.
I was just such a mess. I was such a mess. And prior to dinner, I called Teddy, and Teddy didn't answer. And I just thought Teddy died or something. So that's when I took half a Xanax, everybody. I don't even remember anything. I don't remember anything after that.
And we here see a flashback of her calling Teddy, and Teddy's voicemail goes, "Hi, you've reached Teddy. Don't leave a voicemail." And then Tamara's like,
Teddy, I'm leaving you a voicemail. I just hope you're doing okay. I'm on camera right now, so America needs to see that I care.
It's a very Teddy voicemail greeting. It's like, hey, I'm Teddy. Don't leave a voicemail. Beep.
but I love that she still leaves a voicemail because I think that Teddy sincerely is like, really, don't leave a voicemail. I don't want to deal with your voicemail.
But I also like that Teddy just starts with, hi, I'm Teddy.
Hi, I'm Teddy. Hi, I'm Teddy. You reached my voicemail. Don't leave a message.
I was just so upset. So I took a Xanax and 2 drinks. It's steady sick, everybody. I just don't want people to see that side of me. The side of me where I get caught taking Xanax and drinks, and everybody's seen that side of me 9 million times on these episodes of this show.
It's like, Tamara, we all know. We know now what it is, but we've seen for years when you show up with your little black beady eyes and act like that. It's not like the first time that this has ever happened. And
I know. And I love that she's like, they knew I did something. They could tell. And we just see these like little bubbles of like flashbacks. Like here's Tamara trying to have this very serious therapy scene, and they put up a little bubble of Gina going, "You sloshed."
And then not one of them called me. Not one of them. No one's even concerned about me after I told them all to fuck off and die. I mean, it's crazy. Like, no one even cares how I got home and nothing.
And the doctor's like, and how do you make sense of that, honey?
She's like, they don't care about me. They don't like me, and nobody likes me. I feel rejection. I have to think, does this person like me? Now everywhere I go, I'm like, does this person like me? The other day I went to buy a tank top and Big Bear, and I was like, does that lady like me? Probably not. Probably not. She didn't ask me if I'm trying another size. I've been bullied wherever I go.
Am I allowed to talk? So Doc is like, you're very wounded. And I would say just a little bit annoying. That's part of your pathology.
Yeah, well, after my dad left my mom and Sydney left me and Quiznos closed down, it's just hard to get close to someone. I put a wall up.
The wall. There was a wall up. It's all just my dad. And, Sydney and stuff. I just feel like I'm never good enough. I just don't know what my place is anymore. It's almost like you can't accuse people of stuff and trying to ruin their lives and stuff without them saying something back at you.
It's just not right.
So then
Tamara. This is such a Tamara scene. Oh my God.
Tamara's therapy is the gift that keeps on giving. I love it. I love how she comes in there just like, it's like with Jax at his rehab scenes. Tamara coming in there crying and being like, oh my God, am I even allowed to talk? I can't even say anything. People don't like me. I'm never good enough. Oh, woe is me. And it's like you're like completely reframing her wretched behavior that happens all the time. Oh, it's perfect villain behavior.
It's like, wow, so that's what you're wearing tonight? I mean, you look a little heavy. God, that was really shitty of you to say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't say anything. I can't say anything.
Oh, okay. Cancel culture. So then we go to Emily, and she's home with Luke and the family, etc. And so they're trying to get Luke to eat some food. It looks like he's eating some fries, whatever. He doesn't want to eat any sweet potatoes. It's funny because she's like, you want to have some sweet potato? And he's like, no way, Jose. And he's like, it's orange. And they're trying to show this as like further evidence, which I don't doubt. He has a eating disorder. But I'm also like, to be fair, as a kid, you might not want to eat sweet potato. Like,
I was like, kind of how kids are, Yeah, that is part of it. It's like, okay. And so,
would you like some broccoli? Like some broccoli and Brussels sprouts? No.
Oh my God. So it's like, you don't like orange food? Well, I mean, Keller would try anything. The normal one would eat it. I'm like, God, how is this? Like, watching you deal with this is like hard. It's hard to watch. Even as a non-parent, I'm just like, oh my God. And while I watch it, I'm like, don't say anything. You're not supposed to parent shame. You don't understand what this is like. This is not your lived experience. And I get all that. But at the same time, I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna why are you doing this?
I think
Stop it.
I think
just want
that
to
she's
show up at her
trying
house
to
and be like, stop it.
I think she's trying to be like, hey, it's okay. Look, Keller eats it. It's totally fine. But it's really coming off as like, Keller eats it.
What's wrong with you? Hey, non-freak, you want to try a sweet potato? See, that's how you do it.
Shane is like, okay, let's get him out of here. So the kids go off, and he gives like Emily this really, really long hug. Like he doesn't want to leave Emily, etc. So they go, and Emily starts talking about how when she was in New Orleans, Luke was calling over and over and over again, and it sort of made her feel bad. And she talks about how.
But then we see evidence of this, and every time he answers, she just puts it on like go to voicemail. Just like, I just feel so guilty as a mom. You have a child in crisis, and he called me over and over again. And then they show him calling, and she's like, voicemail, 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 voicemail. It's like, man, the editors hate your ass because She was probably just like pressing likes on tweets or something. And the editors were like, yeah, let's just show Emily pressing ignore on her child in crisis over and over. That's cold, you guys. Come on.
So she says that he started like when she came home, he was talking like all baby like and aggressive. And Shane's like, yeah, but when you're not here, he's like normal. It's just like when you're here, he talks like a baby. I'm not saying that you baby him, but maybe it's time to throw out the baby bottles. You know what I'm saying, Em? She's like, what? So they're talking about this, and
she's like, no, but it's neurological. That's why we have testing, Shane. And Shane's like, okay, but if it's neurological, then we have to work around it, you know? I mean, you go to New Orleans, he gets up, he gets ready and go to school. But when you're here, he texts you all day from school. He won't go. He won't leave. He's hugging you. Like, some of it is just an act for your attention, Emily. And she's like, he's possibly autistic and you're simplifying it.
He's basically like, well, now I'm getting mad because like you act like I have to like cry and be upset and consider like I don't have to like I care just as much as you do, but you're making it seem like because I'm not like expressing all these emotions that I don't feel the same way. And then he tells us, and I was sort of like I kind of like Shane's perspective on this, and then he starts saying how, well, I'm more sensitive to my girls, and maybe that's wrong, but like, you know, for me, like whatever. He's like, if it were me, I wouldn't send send them to a specialist right away because like I'm always telling my boys you have to like, you know, like toughen up and like walk it off. And I'm like, well, I don't know, like like if there's something that needs to be addressed, like go to a specialist. Can we like step out of our gender roles for 1 second?
I mean, I think what he's just trying to say is kids are kids, and you don't know how much of it is a kid being just an odd kid and going through a phase, or how much of it is an actual thing. And like his way is just kind of taking it at the kid's pace and figuring it out as they go along. And Emily is like freaking out over every little thing and trying to label it as, oh God, it's got to be this disease or that disease, or it has to be autism, or it has to be an eating disorder. And he's like, can we just like chill, you know, because even if it is those things, it's not like we're going to throw the kid. It's not like there's something instant you can do where you can just throw the kid into some kind of a machine and change everything. You're going to just have to kind of learn how to deal with it as you go along, right? And so I think he's just got that more chill attitude where she's in like, we have to fix it mode, which, I mean, I can see both sides. Obviously, I'm more of a Shane. You know, I mean, I was just raised to be like, you're not going to the doctor unless you are bleeding out of your eye, you know? But then I also had phases of growing up where I was diagnosed with a lot of different stuff that at that time was like, what even is that? It's like dyslexia or ADD and stuff like that. I was diagnosed with that stuff when I was younger. And we were just like, meh, sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me, you know? And then as an adult, yeah, I do still type words in jumbles, as you see in my notes constantly. There are moments where I have that and ADD. I think anyone who listens to this show can probably vouch for that one being correct, but I don't know. It's like, is one version of parenting better than the other? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's actually good to have the balance. I think it's good to have someone who is concerned and is like we should look into this. I think it's also good to have someone who is saying like, let's not make our child lose his mind. Like he's still a kid, and we can't treat him like we can also let him just go out in the world and exist too. So I think the balance is good. But where Shane I think is not great is that like Emily is obviously emotional about this, and he is, as usual, not very supportive when she needs some support from her partner. And he's kind of like, why are you acting like this? Okay, we can hug. Fine, let's hug. And he's like, it's one thing for him to, I think, maybe be more stoic around the whole situation. But I think when it comes to your wife and she's going through it, like maybe step up a little bit and try to like do something to put her at ease because she is your partner.
Yeah, I can see that. But I can also see his side because you see him try to be patient with Emily during these conversations where he's just obviously thinking different and he doesn't want to label it all these things. Just he's not ready to go like whole hog on this. And Emily is just being kind of so over the top about every little thing. Like, he didn't want a French fry. Oh my God, this is a huge thing. Isn't eating this? And he's like, oh my God, it's normal for a kid to not want a fucking French fry. So I think he's trying to be patient. And there is a sense from Emily like, well, I care more because I'm crying a lot. And like, how can you not care that our son has this disease? I mean, I would feel like she's saying that to me when he's like, it doesn't mean I don't care. It's like, just because I'm not going into histrionics about a sweet potato doesn't mean that I don't care about our son. So please don't insinuate that. But I do see what you're saying as far as like when somebody's really going through it, it doesn't really matter if she's right or wrong. She still needs somebody to just be like, listen, everything you're saying, if you're correct about every single thing and he has an eating disorder and he's autistic and he has all of this other stuff, it's going to be okay and we're going to get through it together, and you don't need to take it all on yourself. You know, he needs to like be able to do that too.
Yeah, I think because I do like when he's sort of being like, hey, if it's a neurological thing, nothing to be upset about. Like, it's just who he is, you know, and we'll work around it and make accommodations. He's trying to sort of like, he's trying to be actually very like a return to normalcy. Like, hey, it's okay. We can be normal. Like, it's nothing to cry over. Like, if this is just the way he is, it's the way he is. We love him all the same, right? I think he's trying to come from that tactic. But I think that Emily just needs reassurances that everything's okay. And I think she also has all these other issues about being a mom that come from her own childhood. So she's just sort of going through it. So that's what happened in that scene. Then we go over to Tamara.
It's a barrel of monkeys over at that house. Great times.
So we go over to Ospie, and we have Heather meeting up with Tamara, and they have like Tamara is very cool. She's like,
How are you? I'm sad. You may have noticed I left out Chipotle.
Like, that's her whole vibe. So Heather's like, how are you? Most importantly. And by most importantly, I put that in air quotes. It's more like least importantly, because you should be asking me how I'm doing, since I just had to put floors into a mansion that I'm going to sell at a loss.
I just wanted you to know this is a very sensitive scene with you, Tamara, so I ordered peppermint tea instead of shrimps. I'm feeling things. This is me feeling, okay?
So, what happened now that our handsome waiter Cody has come and left? Because that guy Cody is like, hey everyone, I'm Cody. I'll be your waiter. Would you guys like some biceps or triceps for your appetizer? All right, bye everyone.
Oh, I'm here to serve your tea bag.
Whoa, Cody. Wow.
Well, I guess I'm doing a little bit better than I was. Well, I don't know if you saw the social media post tag mental health that I was sitting on a log all alone, a big bear, isolating. Not even the bears would talk to me, Big Bear.
Yeah, but I felt like you walked into dinner in a good spot. You had a big smile on your face.
Yeah, because I thought for once we got Gretchen on the side. We got our Gretchen on the side, and we were gonna just roast Katie. It looked great. Everything was going our way. And I talked to Gretchen, and I thought that I believed what she said. But then I thought back about her acting, and I was like, no.
So
yeah, she's basically saying she believed Gretchen's act of being so horrified at what Katie has done, but it all turned into a plan to ruin Tamara's plan. It's like, Tamara, you don't even sound how you sound. Like, you don't even understand how you sound, because it is what you said. I mean, basically what she's saying is like,
I talked to Gretchen. I had it all ready to go. And then before the dinner, Gretchen decided she wasn't going to go on with my plan. Do you know how upsetting that is? Do you know how upsetting it is?
That's what she's offended about. She's like,
yeah.
Gretchen, when she says that, she said, when I thought back to her acting, she's literally saying, like, wow, she led me on into thinking she'd be on my side, but then she wasn't on my side in trying to drive a wedge between her and Katie.
So this is where it gets really wonky. So Tamara says, okay, and I said to her, did you tell Katie at any time that you had to go to the hospital? And then we see a clip of unaired footage of them being in the van. And Tamara said, she's asking Katie and Gretchen. She's asking Gretchen. And Gretchen's kind of whispering because she doesn't want it to be on camera probably. But she's like, yeah, but I did have to go to the hospital because I was so sick. So like, yeah, she said there that she did have to go. And she told her that. And so Tamara's like, and Gretchen is the queen of denial. Didn't say I went to the hospital. Well, yeah, you did. So which one is it? And then we see the clip of this is where Gretchen is in the confusing pink dress that was freaking me out. That says, I didn't go to the hospital. I felt so sick that I should have gone to the hospital.
No, that happened.
So
I was
Gretchen's a
like,
goddamn
oh,
liar too. This is where I almost threw shit at the TV. I was like, wait a minute, you're all liars? All of you? Come on, man.
Well, because she knows that this is going to go like what Gretchen probably knows is that this is Tamara's ploy. This is Tamara's immunity agreement that she's offering to Gretchen, which is if you co-sign that you said this, I won't come after you. I'll use it to go after Katie. But Gretchen is afraid that Tamara's going to go back on the immunity agreement and turn it into an issue of like, how could you tell people that I roofied you? That's illegal. You should never blah, 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 blah. She knows this is going to be used against her. So now she's like, oh, I'm going to hedge. I'm going to actually, like I did say that, but now I don't want to get involved because I know this will be used against me and I don't want to go back to naked wasted. That's my interpretation of it. And of course, Tamara is going to do that exact thing. She is going to revoke the immunity. I guess because Gretchen didn't hold up her end of the immunity bargain. But now this fight, I guarantee in 4 weeks from now, I'm going to be like, what caused all this mess in the first place? It's just this whole thing is going to spiral out of Tamara just trying to turn Gretchen against Katie by saying that Katie has been telling people that Gretchen has been saying that Tamara roofied her.
My God. So Tamara says,
Oh, yeah, I had some suspicions going into dinner that it wasn't going to work out. So I got triggered. You know, so I knew I was going to get upset, so I didn't want to get upset. So instead of getting upset, I took a Xanax. I mean, God, I'm just on an island by myself. What am I supposed to do? It's just like taking a vitamin before a race.
Hello. My turn. What about me? I was worried about you. I sent texts to Terry and said, I wonder what's going on with Tamara. Did you not know that?
hey, Terry, you have a show called Botched. Could you have one that's called Psychologically Botched and find out what's going on with Cuckoo Pants over there? Because, geez.
So Tamara goes, I didn't get a call. And then Heather just all of a sudden, it's like the cape comes out and the evil queen is there. And she goes, excuse me. I called you that night. I spoke to you on FaceTime and you hung up. Then I texted you, how are you? Where are you? And you know what you do? You text me, you call me. Guess what? The tables have turned. This is my fight now, and I am the victim of the evening.
I am extremely upset, and I'm going to show it by doing my Underbite anger look. You notice when she
There
does
will
that?
be okay
She juts her
signs
chin out and
and
she puts like her upper teeth under her lower
Yes.
teeth and she goes,
Yes, this is when she has not only the claw hands, but she has the okay symbols.
Yes.
No and no. So she goes,
Okay then, fine.
and she's like, I have been Tamara's friend and I have stood by her to the detriment. Is that too big of a word for this audience? Okay, I'll keep going. Just replace it with something else. To the detriment of my relationship with other people. And I think the bare minimum, you can text back. I think I've earned that.
what you're doing, you're going to social media and multiple podcasts before talking to me. And how can you understand how that might be upsetting to me? To me.
Why can't you understand how I was feeling? I was feeling all alone. Not even the bear would talk to me, big bear. You know how that feels? You know how that feels?
I do.
No, you don't. You're trying to make me sound like a bad person. Well, I'm sorry, Heather, that I didn't make you feel more comfortable when I was in the fetal position down on the ground.
That's not what I'm saying.
What are you saying
I was
then?
reaching out to you. I was reaching out to you, rich person to less rich person, also known as a poor, and caring. And I was being a very caring person. As I've learned in my Stella Adler acting classes, you go like this. Oh, how are you? That's caring. Congratulations. And you threw me out. I felt like I wasn't important to you.
Do you know what it's like to have to relive while your daughter doesn't want to talk to you? And in the meantime, your best friend gets brain cancer? I'm going through so much.
Stop it. None of those are an excuse to be evil. That daughter hasn't talked to you in forever, okay? That's not like fresh news. And this Teddy Cantor stuff is not your fucking free pass to be a dick to everybody. I can't even believe she's using it like that. That is so gross. Stop using other people's pain and real life traumatic storylines to your own advantage. That is so gross. Who does that?
It was so gross, but so hilarious. Cornered that she pulls both the Sydney and the Teddy card at the same time.
Oh my God.
And Heather just has to be like, she does that thing where she like, she puts all her force in her face right into her lips, closed, just, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry about that. I'm very
But
sorry.
she tells us, I feel bad for her, but she's not going to listen to me. We don't have any room to continue this conversation. Because she's just, she's basically like, okay, she's whipped out the trauma cloak, so this conversation's over. What are you going to do?
I thought about using my Reba McEntire card and talking about the time that Reba ignored me when I went to Spago's, but she's not.
I know what it's like to be frozen out. Have you ever heard of a little show called Happy's Place? Well, I hadn't until it had already been filmed. So,
listen. You can always call me or text me even if you just want to vent, and I will check that voicemail later. So just know that.
Just know that somewhere Alfredo is reading that and thinking, should I give this to Heather or is she going to throw the phone at my face again?
Did you know that if you order fried oysters in a baguette in New Orleans, they call it an Alfredo? Amazing.
Okay, now, serious question. What's more beautiful, the tiramisu here or the waiter?
So then we go to Katie and Matt at home, and their son's there. And she's like, can I, honey, make me a martini. Think you want a martini, Mom? She's like, Mommy needs a martini. Okay, just shut up. Do your coloring or whatever it is you're going to do. Go to bed. I don't even care. Okay. So then they sit down, and then meanwhile at Goat Hill Tavern, Jen shows up to meet Emily, and Gretchen comes, and Gretchen's like,
What is this place?
Gretchen did not even bother looking on Yelp beforehand to see where she's going. Also, Gretchen has, I guess, now fully transitioned away from being like the Texas party girl that she was when we met her, because she is in like a fur coat and she's just like dressed up like she's going to Javier's, and they're just in a dive bar and she's confused. Meanwhile, Jen's standing there in like shiny black leather pants, and ready to throw down some bottles of Schlitz.
yeah, they look kind of crazy in this bar. But yeah, it is pretty funny that Gretchen is now acting like she's way above being in an Irish pub.
Yeah. Like she's never been in one of these places before, when like this was her whole storyline.
So the
Emily's
waiter comes
talking-
over, and Emily's like, so I hear your espresso martinis are not great, so I'll take one. God, she's just so fucking rude wherever she goes. She's so rude. And the guy doesn't even care. He's like, whatever, lady.
Espresso martinis are my thing now. So Emily talks about how her son has an eating disorder, and they just don't know how to parent him, etc. And like she just doesn't know how to do it. And Jen's like, let's play pool. She's like, I don't want to talk about it. So we go back to Katie, and she's like, oh, Matt, the final night Gina comes in and she's like, I called the reporter and he confirmed that you did tell Kiki the story at Mastros. And did you hear Slade talk about this? Did you ever hear Slade talk about this roofie stuff? And Matt's like, yeah. And I can say this, you didn't make it up. So that's all that needs to be said.
So now we have confirmation that Slade was basically telling everybody that Gretchen was roofied that night. So
Yeah.
Katie's like, yeah. All right, guys. Well, after Nola, I felt like I had been thrown under a bus. I gave Gretchen the chance to come clean when I brought up Mastros, and she didn't. And she said she was sure Tamara drugged her the night of Naked Wasted. It was clear as day what she said. And Jen backing Gretchen tells me all I need to know about those two.
So now this trio is going to implode, because now Katie is saying that, yes, she did say this to Kiki Monique, but she didn't admit to saying it because she was covering for Gretchen, because Slade had already called them and said, deny, 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 deny. So that's what she was doing. But now she's getting screwed because Gina called the reporter, And she's basically saying that Jen is continuing to cover for Gretchen, but Katie is not going to cover anymore.
But just to be clear, she still has not admitted to calling Kiki.
Yes.
She is not. She's just saying now somehow it's a mystery how Kiki found this out. But Gretchen did say it. Gretchen did say it. Gretchen and Slade did say it. So that's where she's at right now. So now back at the bar, Jen's like, okay, let's talk about this Katie thing. You know, I want to support Katie, but I mean, what the hell is going on? And Gretchen's like,
Yeah, when I had time to decompress, I thought, am I being naive? Am I? Like, what's happening?
and Emily's like, yeah,
Yes.
yes, you are.
So then Gretchen's like,
Yeah, Katie originally told me that she had no problem saying that she would try to clear this up.
and then we see a clip of Katie saying, like, you know what? I'm going to call Kiki and we'll bring it up on camera. But then all of a sudden, Katie backs out and is like, no, I'm not going to call Kiki anymore.
She's like, yeah, you know, it's just really late over there. I was going to say FaceTime, but am I really ready for a face? I don't know if I'm really ready for that. I mean, she'll just lie anyway. She's just going to lie.
So Katie's like, well, I mean, why am I to blame? Gretchen and Slade are the ones spreading all this and making this story up. And real talk, wait, back it up. Am I saying what really happened or am I protecting Gretchen? Like, what do you want me to do, producers? Imagine the producers say, please protect Gretchen.
So it's really highlighting the producer's shadiness and all of this too. So the producer is like, okay, well, just tell me what really happened. Let's go there. She goes, okay. All right, gather around, everybody. Here's another version of the truth by Katie. After Matt spoke to me when this info about Kiki came out, Slade called Matt and said, tell Katie to say that Gretchen never said it. And I have to hold the line and protect Gretchen. So if Kiki's claiming that I knew this story from Gretchen, the only time I've hung out with Gretchen was with Ryan and Jen. So they would have heard it. So why am I blamed for it? Why isn't Jen in trouble for telling Kiki Monique is basically what she's saying, right? Like, why am I blamed for calling Kiki Monique when Jen and Ryan were also there and heard this story? Because, Katie, we know that you went to lunch with Kiki Monique. We don't know that Jen went to lunch with Kiki. Katie, girl.
This is also so fucked up because we all saw, whether there was roofies or not, we all saw that there was a plan to get Gretchen wasted at that party. There's a plan to supply her with alcohol. And of course, you're responsible for what you put in your body. But like we all saw it, we all know it. It's a legendary scene in Housewives lore for a reason. And yet somehow we're now in a place where like Gretchen has to be protected. Like, oh no, Gretchen said she was roofied. Like, we can't let that out. That she said that. Like, Gretchen was the victim here. Gretchen was like, if you ask me, she was the victim. And like now all of a sudden, like it's like, oh, we have to tiptoe around the fact that she felt like she was roofied. Like, I kind of think that's bullshit too. Like, she should be allowed to say, like, yeah, I think I was roofied that night. You know, especially.
Well,
if she
I'm
went to the
wondering if
hospital.
Gretchen is worried about getting sued or something.
I think
Like
she's either worried about getting sued, but from Tamara, or she may be worried that Bravo would not be happy with her saying that because it makes Bravo look bad because it happened on their watch, and she doesn't want to get on the bad side of Bravo.
That's
Whatever it
probably a
is,
better point.
she's very
Yeah.
self-conscious about actually being on the record as making a big claim like that. And the truth is this, like, a lot of people, like, when you hear from so many people. First of all, there's a lot of people who get roofied, which is scary. But there are a lot of people who will say, like, oh, I went to a bar last night, and like I only had like 2 drinks, and I was like on the floor in a way that I don't not normally. I think someone put something in my drink. People will say that a lot, and it's not discounting it, but that's something that people say. And I don't think that Gretchen should be like afraid of like having said that ever.
Yeah. And someone sent us a DM this week saying, or maybe it was a comment or something, saying, you guys, please don't make it sound like Ryan raped Gretchen. Ryan didn't rape Gretchen. She said no, and he laid off. So please don't make. Okay, first of all, we never said that Ryan raped Gretchen. But if you watch that episode again, no, that was not as simple as somebody saying no and then somebody backing off. That was her getting progressively more and more wasted. She's completely out of it in the whole episode. And he's over there like putting things in her boobs, and he's on her with his hands all over the whole time, following her into the bathroom, coming onto her really heavy. She said no, and he did not just walk away. It was trying to convince her and trying to do all this shit, which you guys know that if this was to get today's standards, That would not fly at all. I can't even believe it did back then. But we're not saying he raped her, but we are saying that man is an extreme fucking creep, and so is his mother. And it's nuts that they got away with this, and she's even back here. And it's nuts that she's bringing this all back into the public eye because it was bad. It was really, really bad. And I'm not being a Janet or an alarmist by saying that. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was bad, and I don't feel bad saying it. Okay.
It's just so
And by the way,
funny.
the commenter was totally nice. I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying, like, come on, watch it again.
But it's interesting because the whole like focus of the argument is now shifting into like, did Gretchen say it? Did Gretchen not say it? And I'm like, if she said it, I think she's like well within her right to say it. I think it's
She
okay if
is,
said
and
it.
that's what I said last week. Like, if she says she was roofied, I would believe it because we saw the footage and she looked like she could have been roofied. So I would totally believe that. And this is also another very typical example of what happens, I think, a lot of times with victims, where she's now being villainized by the perpetrator, basically. It's like all these years later, you're relitigating it and you're reframing it as if you're being victimized by Gretchen somehow. And that's absolutely fucking bottom of the barrel. It's gross.
Yeah. So basically, Katie feels like a pawn, and she thinks that Gretchen has been caught in a lie, and it's just also kind of a shame because these three are kind of like, I like their little trio. I like that they're dealing with Tamara and Emily and Gina, and I like them. I like them as a trio, and it looks like they're gonna fall apart. Which is
Katie's
ultimately what Tamara's plan was.
Yeah, and Katie's whole victim act here is ridiculous too. You know, Katie, you were the one who took this information straight to a fucking podcaster, a radio person, and laid it out there. Like, who does, like, that is bullshit, you know? Like, I'm team Katie for most of this because even though I know she's a liar, she's still fighting people. She's still fighting the person that I think is the worst.
She's fighting the good fight.
Right. Yeah. So, obviously she's been full of shit through a lot of this, but you can't be like, oh, now I'm the victim because Gretchen won't admit to saying it. You should never have done what you did, Katie. Come on. Like, I like you, but your rewrites are just too much at this point. Or just apologize, for fuck's sake. What you did was gross.
Or Katie should just live in it. Because guess what? If she has a fallout, if she falls out with Gretchen now because of this, it would have been the same as if she had fallen out with Gretchen because she said, yeah, I did tell Kiki Monique. And like, wouldn't you rather fall out while you stood in your truth? And then people were like, yeah, I like that she like owns what she says. But instead she's falling out in a position where we say, well, Katie, she says that she didn't say it. And then she always comes back and says, well, I did say it. So like Katie has to, I think, be just more, if you're going to fall out with him anyway, then just be more comfortable saying like, yeah, I was messy. She's getting better, but she's not quite there yet.
No,
So
she's not even close. And then she turned on Kiki Monique. She's been all over the Instagram and everything else, and this show saying Kiki Monique's just a fucking liar now. And so what did she lie about exactly?
Kiki's not
Because
a
you
liar.
went to, now Kiki's the liar. So you went to lunch with Kiki, then where did Kiki get the information about the roofie if it wasn't from you? Like, it doesn't even make sense that Kiki would just happen to make something like that up when all this happened at Mastros. And like, your lies don't even make sense now, Katie. Come on, man.
Yeah, Kiki's not going to be like, let me just start up, like, let me create a rumor about something that happened 12 years ago. No. So, so Gretchen is saying how she feels like she has to call Kiki Monique now, which is what they should have done all along. And Jen is saying, well, playing devil's advocate, if Gretchen did say this, then why would Katie repeat it to a blogger or a radio host? And Gretchen says, I need to get to the bottom of this. And so next week, Kiki makes her grand appearance on Orange County, and we're going to see what happens to settle the score and put it all out there.
Yep. Oh my gosh, what a mess. But this was really a good episode, and all these things came unfolding that I didn't think were going to unfold. Really,
These are the best seasons. The best seasons are when there's like a small thing and it builds, and then something else grows out of it and gets bigger and bigger and bigger, as opposed to the bad seasons are the ones where they try stuff and it doesn't work. So it's this episodic, like, here's another 3-week storyline, and here's another 3. But this is just like, it's growing, it's snowballing. They're whipping themselves into a frenzy over something, honestly, that like really is not worth whipping themselves into a frenzy for. But they're doing a great job at it.
Yep. Good times, everybody. Well, thanks so much for being here, everybody. We will see you Monday with Real Housewives of Miami and Crappy Hour, which will be at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time live over on our YouTube. You can also find links on our Instagram, or it's a free post on Patreon. So go check that out.
Wee. Bye,
Yeehaw.
everyone.
Love you guys.